Good morning, good morning. Welcome to this week's edition of Talk Cinema. Here in the studio with me is Sanjeev Gupta, our cinema expert. Good morning, Sanjeev.
Good morning.
Well, Sanjeev, what are you talking about today?
Today I want to talk about the Sundance Film Festival.
Sounds interesting. I've heard of the Sundance Festival. What exactly is it?
Well, to put it simply, Sundance is a festival for independent films and people interested in them.
Okay, can you explain what an independent film is?
Independent films, sometimes they're called indies, are films that don't come from the major Hollywood studios. They're produced and financed by the directors themselves, and they're usually low-budget productions. But of course, this doesn't mean that they're appreciated less than normal commercial films.
Of course, independent films can be very interesting, and often they deal with contemporary issues.
Exactly. You can't compare independent films with Hollywood blockbusters. They're two completely different things. Well, Hollywood films are more spectacular. They're usually high-budget productions, and the money comes from the Hollywood studios, not from the directors. There's more money to spend, so they can feature famous stars.
There's another important difference here. Hollywood movies are distributed throughout the world. That's how they make so much money at the box office. Right, Sanjeev?
Right, Lucy. On the other hand, independent films generally win the praise of cinema critics, but make less money at the box office.
Okay, let's go back to the Sundance Film Festival.
Well, this festival has nothing in common with the Oscars night in Los Angeles, but it is the most important film festival in the world for independent films. It's important because it promotes the work of many young directors.
When did the festival start?
Robert Redford organized the first festival 25 years ago. The festival takes its name from Sundance Kid, the character Robert Redford plays in the film Butch Cassidy and the Sundance Kid. Today, the Sundance is divided into two sections. The main section is called the American Competition and is for American films and documentaries. The second section is the World Cinema Competition. This is for all other films. You know, Sundance is great fun. In addition to the films, there are parties and concerts and also special meetings for film students.
Well, the Sundance Festival sounds fun. It's smaller and younger than other film festivals. There aren't lots of Hollywood stars. The awards aren't as prestigious as the Oscars. But it's an important festival. Right, Sanjeev?
Right, and don't forget, it's great fun.
Okay, thank you, Sanjeev. And goodbye.
Goodbye.
Goodbye, and see you next week for another edition of Talk. So, the Sundance Festival takes its name from the Sundance Kid, the character that Robert Redford plays. A character is a person in a film. And we say that an actor plays a character. And let's have a look at some of the vocabulary and expressions we use to talk about films. There are independent films and Hollywood blockbusters. First of all, what is an independent film? It's a low-budget production that is not produced or financed by a major Hollywood studio. Major means big and important. A low-budget production is a film made with little money. And what's a Hollywood blockbuster? It's a high-budget production that is produced and financed by a major Hollywood studio. A high-budget production is a film made with lots of money. To produce a film means to make a film, and to finance a film means to find the money to make a film. We say a film is produced by and financed by someone. So, an independent film is usually produced and financed by the director of the film. The director is the person responsible for making a film. He or she directs the actors and decides how to tell the story of the film. Independent films are sometimes called indies, which comes from the word independent. Because Hollywood blockbusters are high-budget productions, they can feature famous stars. Famous stars are famous actors. So, if a film features famous stars, it means that famous actors and actresses are in the film. Pretty Woman features Julia Roberts and Richard Gere. We say Hollywood blockbusters are commercial films. This means they are easy to watch and easy to sell. They're made with the purpose of making money. All right, cinema lovers, that's it for now. Bye, and see you.
Hello, welcome to this week's edition of Let's Talk, the Saturday evening debate with our commentators Tom and Marie.
Good evening.
Tonight I'd like to hear your thoughts about e-learning. You know, when I was a teenager, I hated school and studying. As you can imagine, my exam results weren't very good, so I couldn't go to university. Now I'd like to study philosophy, and I'm thinking of taking a distance learning course, using my computer and the internet.
Well, e-learning. The E means electronic, so e-learning is electronic learning. This is a new and convenient way of studying. Many universities around the world now offer distance learning degree courses via the internet. You can take a course from a university in England or in the States without leaving your home.
That's true, but you need to have a lot of motivation to take an e-learning course.
Why?
Well, good time management skills are very important for successful e-learning. You mustn't waste time. You must study a little every day. It isn't always easy, especially if you work.
Okay, e-learning courses can be more difficult. Traditional courses can be better. But there are many advantages to studying for a degree at a distance.
What are these advantages? In fact, let's talk about the advantages and the disadvantages of e-learning.
Okay, one advantage, you can study when you like and where you like.
I see. So it's a flexible way of learning.
Exactly. Another advantage is that e-learning gives people a second chance to take a university course without giving up your job. You can study and work at the same time.
I'm sorry, Marie, I don't agree. When you work, it can be very difficult to find time to study. Besides, students can feel lonely and isolated when they study by themselves.
Wait a minute. This is where the E, the electronic part, helps. There's lots of interaction with other students and course tutors. Some courses use virtual classrooms to teach small groups. You can see your tutor and other students on your computer screen. You can talk with them and use text chat or email and discussion forums too. Today, most courses include study skills information on how to study well at a distance.
Okay, but some course materials can be really boring, just like reading books online. And some e-tutors are very inexperienced and don't know how to teach in this new way. And remember that dropout rates are high for e-learning courses.
Yes, I agree with some of what you say, but good multimedia course materials can be very stimulating as they use audio, images, and text together to teach.
Okay, I see that you both have strong opinions on this topic. This discussion is very interesting, but I'm afraid we've run out of time. So, e-learning, the new independent way of studying with advantages and disadvantages. My philosophy course? I'll have to think. So, goodbye to our commentators, Marie and Tom.
Goodbye.
Goodbye.
Goodbye. And goodbye to you. And see you next time on our discussion group. Well, I'd like to take an e-learning course, but I'm not sure that I have the motivation I need. Notice how we say, to take a course. For example, to take an English course means to study English. To take a distance learning course means to study from home. If I take an e-learning course, I can study at home and send my work to my course tutor via internet. The course tutor is the teacher for the course. Most people go to university. To go to university means to study full-time at a university. We can also say someone is at university. For example, I'm at university means I'm studying for a degree at a university. A degree is the qualification you get when you complete a university course. A degree course can take from 3 to 5 years, depending on the subject you study. I wanted to study philosophy at university. We say to study a subject at university. For example, my friend Sasha is studying mathematics at university. We can say she goes to university. She's at university. She's studying mathematics at university. She's taking a mathematics degree at university. We can also say she's studying for a degree in mathematics. Notice we can say either a mathematics degree or a degree in mathematics. With e-learning courses, people study for a degree at a distance. This means they study at home. They don't go to the university to study. But Tom said the dropout rates for these courses are high. The dropout rates is the number of people who don't finish the course. The verb to drop out means to not finish a course. We can say to drop out of school or to drop out of university. Okay, well, study hard, and I'll see you on Saturday for another edition of Let's Talk.